So a 9-game lead for Shane.
Pretty crazy.
Probably feels like he's losing, you know? I mean, that's probably how he feels. But anybody in the world would like to be 9 games ahead of Orcollo. I don't care. But 9 games at this level on this kind of equipment with as good as these guys break and play doesn't have to mean a whole lot.
No, that ratio's falling every moment. Shane needs 33 games towards 42 for Dennis, so it's just 4-3, you know. But he's getting the 1 to come around now. It does get a kiss a lot of times,
that kiss.
but the kiss has actually been a good one for him most
That's what
of the time.
I was going to say. Yeah, would
yeah.
kiss that ball, bounce back up, and leave him dressed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, getting shots. But the one thing he's definitely done is he's broke the balls in a very satisfactory way, but he's taken advantage of a few mistakes from Shane and won several games behind each of those few mistakes. So real tough here. Do you go all the way to the 7 here, Joey? Do you go behind the 8-9? That's possible too.
I think the 8-9 is the shot. I mean, I think that it might just be important enough to just thin it and leave it with the behind
with
the
6 and 2.
Yeah. Because if you try to run it all the way up, you can get too cute and leave that one, let the ones trickle out where he's going to have some kind of a shot.
Leave the jump shot almost always also.
He
but
might be able to hit it fat and hit the 6 and come up. Or no, I don't think that's it.
I think he's going with your first choice, just easing it. But the thing about when I ease it, it seems like I don't get the hit I want a lot of times when that ball's next to the rail. Because you know how it hydraulics a little, or it might bend a hair, you know.
You just got to hit it nice and thin.
That's
exactly the problem there when you try to go behind that 8-9, I think.
Well, this might be straight back here, folks. Shane's aggressive, and I mean, he could go safety here, but nothing's sitting just like great for the safety, I don't think. Not that I see.
Bank the 1 past the 9 and put it behind the 4.
Maybe.
That's touchy.
Maybe that's what he's doing. Unless he's spinning the cue ball into the 6 here, off
no
the
matter
left
how you
side
look at
of
it, this shot is definitely touchy.
Oh my!
Got the kiss
wow.
And the scratch. And that's an error.
Yeah.
But that shot, like I said, it was super touchy. I mean, trying to bank that ball 1 rail up, and he might have even been trying to hit it so deep and leave him just 1 rail up on the 4. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
That's
with a little inside English, you mean?
That's probably why he caught that kiss.
Yeah, and that was really tough, I think. Because you could see the 1 was going always on top of the 8 and 9 the way he hit it. So he's probably doing what you said, like playing the cue ball only behind the 4.
Yeah, I think he probably should have tried to float it 2 rails, but see, that's an even harder shot because you might leave the 1 just straight out by the corner pocket over to the left. But.
Well, Dennis misses a tough 1 ball, leaves Shane really nothing. Now Shane had a little opportunity here with a safety of some sort. Mishit it, got a double kiss scratch.
Got to be frustrating. Just a lot of work. I mean, it's just tough.
Okay, he could just hold it, or he could come to the rail. Depends on how he wants to hit it.
Creeping in. This comeback. Orcollo's really, really, really creeping in. So yeah, I've noticed that with Orcollo, he's missed the 1 on the side of an awful lot, but he's made the wing ball. And then the 1 has had a tendency to come 2 rails, catch a kiss, and leave him with a pretty good opportunity.
I don't think he's playing the 1 on the side anymore. He and I discussed it for just a minute last night.
I would be willing to bet that he wasn't because he hasn't made it a whole lot.
No, you can tell he definitely went to a thicker hit on the 1. So that's because he's still pushing the corner ball in. So now he feels like he can get shape on the 1 or the 2, I think, pretty easily with this break he's using. I kind of agree with him. Now it's just a matter of where the cue ball ends up. It wants to come across on the right side of the table when the one's going to be on the left. So it's just a matter if they dress up for a bank or, a straight-in shot of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of crossing each other's paths, the one. But watch it hit. No, that time the rack sounded a little funny. Didn't sound so clean, the rack didn't, and the 6 is going to snooker him.
A shot here. But look if he would have made the one on the side, caught the point, but
yeah,
would have had a...
He took a little off those, though, right? He didn't hit those as hard as he's been hitting them, I think.
Yeah, because this cue ball hasn't ended up there ever.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't even think he caught a kiss, did he? He kind of just like one rail threw it back over there.
Yeah. That happened once earlier. He almost scratched, but it hasn't been much.
He might have just caught those a little
What do you
full.
do here?
Man, I don't know. This is a really difficult push. Probably just back up to the top corner by the chalk. I would think that's probably the only decent push, but then...
You mean on the lower left here where the chalk's at?
I just think that makes it so easy to just dink it down there by the 6 and put him behind the 4-9. It's just... That's too easy of a look.
I was going to say, I wouldn't doubt he rolls out to a jump of some sort. He could roll out behind the 2 ball. Pretty easy to do. Put him in the middle of the end rail.
It's not a bad shot. As good as these guys jump,
Yeah, I'm. Me, I don't roll out too many jumps like that. But I mean, this is a bad spot to let the guy see the ball.
Yeah.
So he's going to roll out to where he can only see a piece of this side of the ball. But you can tell Dennis is definitely a different hombre right now. He's working real hard. He's thinking when he needs to think. His rhythm is good, but it's not real fast.
I can't say that he's had any like real unforced errors. I mean, as far as like any real bad hiccups. I haven't seen him really butcher any balls or his position, like terrible position play or anything like that.
Shane must be right down the barrel on that one because he didn't even get out of his chair to pass that rollout. He might cut this in, Holmes.
Yeah, the shot looks makeable.
Yeah.
How much of this one ball can he see? I mean, can he see full enough
to draw it?
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I don't think so.
So
the main reason is I think that's what
ball.
He would do if he could, but
like draw it out and then bring the cue ball over behind the 4-9.
Yeah, I think so. The one that would be flying a little bit, but I mean,
yeah. He'd probably be cutting this ball.
I would try to cut it in.
Just go at it.
Yeah.
Just cut the ball.
Things are going your way. I mean, the safety's super rough. There's a little element of safety trying to cut at it,
That's one thing I've learned recently, too. I mean, that if the safety is that difficult, is that much more difficult than the shot or just as difficult, you're better off going for the shot.
Absolutely.
So really taking his time with this shot. I mean, which is understandable because this comeback is huge. Every game from here on out, you can really keep that momentum or you can give it back. Does not want to give it back.
He went for the
went
cut.
With it, which is okay.
Watch out, 8 ball.
Oh.
Okay, so Shane needs to, not recover. That ain't the right word, but just, just make sure of himself a little bit more.
Yeah. Just get your crap together. Just get your head right,
He might come between the 4 and the 9 here.
I was kind of wondering that. I mean, because it looks like it's pretty natural.
Yeah.
Because even if you hit the left side of the left side of the 4, it's still okay.
Oh, he's going to get the 7 here. This is going to be upsetting. So, again, just kind of out of sorts a little bit after a few things here. Now, I don't mind him shooting at this, of course.
Is he going in the side with this?
No, he's just going to put a stroke on it, go all the way to the corner. He may shoot this with some pace and get for the 4 on the side, just so he can let his stroke out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to just be dinking these balls.
He hit it great, or good enough. Pretty good speed there.
Good shot. I mean, because it's just so tough when things are just going against you. It's easy to let them just compound.
He's got to pay attention to this little shot because he wants to gain an angle and watch out for that side pocket. All right, good stroke there.
Beautifully done. That's a good shot. So a nice little reprieve for Shane to get some momentum.
Well, I think he was 13 games up when he got on top of that 9, something like that, and looking to go 14. It might have been 14 going to 15.
I think he was, he was 14 going to 15 because we were talking about that was the first game I got in the booth, and it was back to where it all started.
Right.
And that's when he made that mistake.
2 rails towards the 9 here, back and forth.
Nicely done. Now rebuild that lead. Very, very crucial. So I haven't really had a lot of opportunity. I mean, I've been watching Shane play, obviously, all day, but sitting in the booth, you get to pay a lot more attention to what their break's looking like and what's really going on because you're really analyzing everything. What do you feel like Shane's been doing today on his break?
He broke the balls starting off really well. He had a little bit of, he hit a couple more thin than I think he wanted.
Yeah.
Cue ball got underneath the rack a couple of times, but overall he was hitting them, really well, getting a lot of speed on the object balls, which I think is always a good sign for this type of break.
Yeah. So not bad there. I mean, got the...
no, he's got a natural combo here.
Yeah, and with position as well, huh?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to roll it, but he does need to stun the cue ball forward a little bit just to make sure the 2 doesn't get away from him and he doesn't have a shot, ends up behind the 3 with the cue ball.
Yeah.
He could roll it. He had one yesterday he rolled similar to this and ended up a little bit on top of the ball, but he was okay. Hey, that's what the way I like to shoot it, a little stun.
Nicely done, yeah. I like that. That was a good shot.
And again, we talked about yesterday that when you stun those combinations sometimes, you can really hold the object ball, the ball you use the combination for, a lot more because it's sliding. It's not rolling, right?
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't get away from you as easy. Always amazed me until I learned that how guys shot combinations and made the first ball just stop on the second one, even with a hair of an angle,
Yeah. I was thinking about this one, but it looked like he did have that natural angle to roll 2 rails.
Great stroke.
I thought he might have been a little bit funny on that one, but it looked like as soon as he got down, he knew it was pretty natural. But, yeah, it is pretty miraculous. I mean, whenever you watch somebody just shoot these combos and stun that ball so easily for position. But you got to put that committed stroke on it. You can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't feather it or vary it or whatever.
Yeah, they don't steer it too often. Tell you, I think he's a little steamed right now.
I would
really
be
do.
happy. I promise you that.
I think he's could be a little extra effort here the next or the remainder of this match. Anyways, not saying Shane doesn't ever give up maximum effort, but he will get a little upset with himself at times. Like, hey, darn it, let this lead get away from me here.
I mean, just looking the look on his face the first day, whenever he had a lead and Orcollo came back and actually got the lead. I mean, he was furious, and he was basically tied up. I mean, down by 3 games.
Right.
And he was not happy about it at all. So getting back to double digits, huh?
Yeah, double digits and breaking, which is between these two probably not quite as good as a 10-game lead, but you can certainly make up a 10-game lead the way these guys break the balls and play.
Quickly, yeah. I mean, Orcollo, they're capable of running 5 in a.
Oh yeah.
I mean, heck, I went outside and made a phone call when they first broke the balls. I go out and make a phone call, and Shane had won the first 4 games in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, pretty quick.
So I mean, it's not.
Well, I think I got a message from one of the fans that Shane, the most that was ran was 7 yesterday. Is that right? I think somebody said that, right? 7 in a row. Uh-oh. Okay. He's going to get a cross-side bank. Unless he gets on the rail and awkward, he's going to shoot at this.
He's definitely shooting, right? I mean, but do you play the cue ball? You
got to follow your ball all the way over. You aren't going to slow roll this bank.
There ain't no way, yeah. That's what I was wondering. Can he come underneath the 3 here? Does he have that angle?
I think it's coming either on top of it or maybe into the face of the 3.
Yeah, you probably got to try to stay on the top side of it because then you're guaranteed the position and you can be a little more aggressive, maybe using a touch of inside or a little bit of left. I don't know. One way or the other, you got to go.
That's what I was about to say. The key on that bank there is to ease back for the 3. That way you're not really overhitting the ball too much.
So let's Orcollo in a difficult position here. I don't even know if the 2 passes the 5 if he wanted to go that route. Elevated.
Trying to see if something easy just that takes a little bit of a hit to get him through this shot, meaning, and that doesn't really apply here. Don't look like he can't just graze off the 2 easily and come down below. That's going to get him screwed. I mean, cross corner the 2 not jacked
up.
Snookered
right here.
Can you cross corner the 2 and try and go one rail between the 7-4 towards the 6? I mean, this is
I
tough.
like that shot, Jay. I really do. But you know that is really tough because you got to hit the ball thick enough. If you try to cross that, it looks like the angle is going to come right into the 7.
Maybe,
and then you just leave the cue ball right there.
He may take a rip at this just because, I mean, he's in a bad spot on the safety. We are playing 9-ball. He could gin it and get through there and somehow, or he could luck something in, you know. I think he's got to almost shoot at it, really. I think, anyways.
The cross bank?
I think it's doable, but the thing about the cross bank is you hate to go down. You might as well take a rip at the shot because you're jacked up, right? If you weren't jacked up, you probably shoot the cross bank for the shot anyways.
Yeah, that's a good shot. I mean, really, that's the only opportunity to really get something going.
You might luck the 6 in. Oh, not the cue ball. He didn't want that.
But he just took a whack at it. I mean, in that position, that's what I was saying. He might as well have been snookered. It didn't matter.
Yeah, take a little shot at it, right?
Yeah. You're almost better off being snookered than being in a position like that because you've got no
I'd probably follow this in the upper right, don't you? Yeah.
I don't think that's bad. Not bad at all. I don't mind drawing this ball just straight up the table, but the follow shot, you're like really, really. I mean, more probably likely to get the perfect angle that you'd like to be in when you follow the ball than when you're trying to draw it with spin or anything.
Yeah, I was always taught when you had a choice, as long as it's not ridiculous, you're not squeezing the cue ball behind the rail on the ball. I mean, behind the ball on the rail there to follow it.
Yeah.
But Shane does like to draw it more, and he'd always tell you his favorite shot is the draw shot. Doesn't want to fall straight here.
Don't want to land too straight. That's pretty straight.
And even falling downward a hair, I think, Joey.
Yeah, he landed in the worst, probably the worst spot.
He could use the 6 to help move the cue ball. That would open up the pocket most likely for the 5, also for the upper left.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Because
it's pretty cherry. Look at this. Look at this angle we got here. See how big the pocket is there. I mean, using the 6.
I don't think that's
still
bad,
okay.
But I think he's probably just going to go ahead and draw this ball out, don't you?
I would shoot this into the rail and draw it out. Use the 6 myself. That's what I would do.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you can't miss it. Smooth draw it out. You ain't got to rip it or nothing. Just like that. I mean,
very nice.
Yeah, I think that was the
call
shot.
On that one, Jay.
And it opened up the pocket for the 5. So no matter what angle you get,
what did the 6 do to him?
Well, that was a little unlucky, but. First things first, right? You got to get shape on the 4.
Yeah.
He's got the upper left here, so he's got the 6-7 combo on the side. So as long as he gets to the center of the table here, he should be okay. I mean, you don't want to go past the center.
You can
Whoa,
almost play.
that's too much.
That is too much.
That's too much. That's going to be upsetting there.
Now it looks like he's going to have to probably really put something on this to get it to draw back. I mean,
he might be coming towards the side here, Joey, with the draw. This got funny.
I mean, it looks like he might be able to beat it.
Maybe.
Man,
I'll tell you, he'd love to just get below the side somewhere, though, and get a – whether he had to stick him on the 6 or something like that, that's okay. You know, take your chances there. I mean –
he's really gonna put something on this one. I don't think he's gonna.
May have to cheat the pocket too to direct the cue ball.
He's definitely
how he
not
wants.
slow rolling this ball. He's gonna really snatch draw this ball and try because I mean all he has to do is get down towards the end rail. I mean he can pocket that ball in the corner or the side, you know. But he's just got to put a very, very, very fluid stroke on this and just make sure he gets that max amount of spin. Very doable. Especially with the table following that direction a little bit. But
he's trying to get all the way there. For the 6-7, I guess? Oh,
got
the other
8.
corner.
Yeah.
Now he's like dead meat. You don't have the combo that's easy.
I just don't know why he didn't just come to the
Stay
end
underneath
rail.
it?
Yeah. I thought he for sure would do that.
Maybe he got more out of it than he thought.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he felt like he needed to put that on there because, I mean, well, he has overhit 2 or 3 balls since I've been sitting here.
This is touchy.
Overhit the 4 and overhit the 2 to the 3.
Yeah.
That's 3 shots in a row that he
can't.
overhit, I think.
He can't simply knock the 6 into the 7 and go by for the snooker on the 9. I mean, you're going to leave an easy kick shot or maybe a jump shot, but what else are you going to do?
This ball?
Cutting it into the corner.
Touchy. Now, it looks like he's just going to cut.
I mean,
this ball
hey,
and
cutting it in the corner isn't horrible.
Leave him behind the 9.
I mean, it's something. You know, I mean, it's the type of shot your opponent usually beats you on, especially these great players. But I mean, it's something at least.
Yeah, it's better than just. Yeah.
I mean, you got to make him kick at it, right?
From the side angle, it looks like the cut shot is on, but it's not easy.
Oh, that's what he's doing now. Cue ball's going to have a ton of speed going in the wrong direction, though, right?
Yeah, going away from the 7 and behind the 9.
Yeah, 3 rails, right? Yeah.
It's a very difficult position to be in here.
He's near the rail also. I'll tell you what he could do. This is better, actually, if he feels real good about it. He could elevate and shoot the 6 into the 7 where the 6 replaces the 7 and draw the cue ball down to the low rail and kill the cue ball with low right on the side rail. It's real natural, you know, like dragging the ball on a 1-pocket shot, right?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good shot.
The 6 kind of, like I said, replaces the 7. I think that's what he's looking at here. He's either going to roll it or do that elevation like I talked about. But the elevation, I think, sits okay here, even though you're close to the rail. Elevating the cue, I mean. Yeah, that's the shot I like, I think.
He's playing the 6 off the 7.
No, he's playing that safety, I think. Replacing the 6 with the 7, drawing the cue ball to the end rail, because he's close to it. So he can judge it with a light touch here. Yeah, like that. That's the shot I like.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, you get something out of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's still something he usually beats you with a lot of times, the players do, but.
So he was measuring where he wanted the cue ball to end up.
Yeah.
I thought he might be measuring where he wanted the 7 to go, or the 6 to go in the pocket.
Now,
getting real aggressive with it.
Orcollo, if he puts a little much on this as far as the top English, he could scratch in this corner where the cue ball's at. Because he's definitely either trying to make it in the side or bank it up table, right?
Yeah.
So if he puts a little extra effort here, this ball could bend in the corner. Oh, he hit it perfect.
He hit it really well.
I mean, we say perfect, but he hit it darn well.
I mean, nicely done.
This may be straight back for your cash here. Hey, and this ain't bad. I mean, it ain't the worst thing in the world because this one lays to where you can put the cue ball on the right side rail above the middle diamond. I mean, you don't want to steer it. I wouldn't say necessarily steer it, but I think it lays to where you can get the cue ball maybe a little bit tough on the right side rail, right?
Oh, yeah. I think this is all go here.
Taking dead aim. Oh, he hit it.
Not his best stroke.
No, that was like a fatigue stroke, to be honest with you. That's a stroke when you're a little tired, Joey.
It definitely didn't look like a very deliberate, confident
Yeah, it's kind of guided a
delivery.
little
It was
bit,
just, yeah.
Left it tough, though, huh?
Not easy. That's for dang sure.
And I'll tell you, the cue ball is going to have a lot of speed on this. The angle is going to produce that. That's what he's looking at. I can pretty much be anywhere. The one place I wouldn't want to be is over the 9 somehow. On the rail, on the right rail isn't that great either. Kind of flat, but.
I mean, you got to think he's the favorite to make the ball, and that's really, I mean, ideal as far as just going ahead and just not really worrying too much about the cue ball. As long as your timing is right, you're probably going to have good position. You know, you're not going to really get too crazy with it. You're not slam cutting it, and you're not really trying to finesse baby it either.
What was it, 75% here on this ball, maybe? 80%, so, 75,
yeah.
80?
Yeah.
7 or 8 out of 10, you would think. If he had to do a little more with the cue ball, that percentage might drop a hair.
Yeah.
But like Joey said, just a nice flat ball. Oh, quick stroked it, though, Joey.
It did look quick, didn't it?
Yeah, the back and forth was real fast that time. And
he started the downstroke or the follow-through before he finished the backstroke, for sure. Very interesting when that happens. How much accuracy you lose.
Yeah, and then when you're talking about a shot that has a lot more degree of difficulty, well, that's where that little bit off, you know. Mm-hmm. And for him, it was a little more than a little, but, you know, for most of us, that's a little off, and it costs you, you know. I got to come up the right side rail here. If you try pulling this ball and getting it going with that draw, this could get away from you easily.
Oh, yeah. I like just going to the side rail here.
Yeah, I like just flicking this in with maybe straight or a hair of inside and coming up 2 rails above the 9 a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious why he's looking to maybe draw this ball so maybe he can let his stroke out a little bit.
Yeah,
not have to just dink a ball, but like I don't like drawing this ball.
Well, when you draw it, you take a chance of it getting away from you. That's for sure. I think he's just rolling it in. Oh, he said, "Heck with that. I don't want to end up on top of this, do I?" Wow, and it got almost as funny as it could get.
I mean, he should be okay, though.
Man, he must. That last shot that he hit a little weak stroked or something may have played into that decision right there, Joey.
Yeah, like he wants to feel it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to baby nothing. He wants to shoot it.
It's like he's using that stroke because he knows he's out, but he wants to do it with the authority, like he was using a practice stroke there.
Yeah, he said, "Heck with that light stuff."
Exactly.
11-game lead.
Yeah, because it can get so tough when you're trying to dink the balls around.
Okay, no corner ball, which has been pretty consistent for both players. And, whoo, man.
Illegal, huh?
Yeah, but he cut him thinner than he has been. You know, he went to a little thicker hit. When he changed his break going into day 2, he said, "I found the break I want to use." It was a thicker hit on the 1, and that one was a lot thinner. So, it's a pretty easy run out here for Dennis.
It's pretty simple. That is interesting, though. I mean, yeah, because Shane yesterday, he was saying he found the break that he wanted. He knew what he needed to do. And not that he's been breaking bad today, but, I mean, definitely not the same Shane that we saw with that 20-plus game lead.
Dennis got perfect here. He'll just pinch this back a few inches. Have a nice angle to come up the table with a little draw towards the 6. Don't flirt with that rail. Well, there you go. Go ahead and get off that rail quite a bit.
Yeah.
Some people, and myself sometimes, I'll draw up this rail and I get 3 or 4 inches off the rail when I should be a foot off the rail.
Having to elevate or try to create something instead of just having a pretty simple shot. Well, getting it back down to 10 games, Orcollo putting in that work.
Yeah, 90-80.
already. No, you're good. All right, Orcollo, 90 to 80, folks. Really exciting match. Kind of curious to see what adjustments can be made for Shane, but right now it's been mostly Orcollo over the past hour or so.
What's going on, Joey?
What's going on, brother?
All right, guys. Mark Gonzalez here in the booth, just filling in for Mr. Jeremy Jones. So, yeah, I just heard you say that it's been kind of the Dennis show today, and we've been over there watching, man. And he's, he was in here right after the y'all's team event ended, and hitting balls immediately, and played all the way up until Shane came and kicked him off.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. I mean, it started with Shane. I mean, he really had a good lead and had a good rhythm going, and then a couple of mental errors from Shane that were really rare. I mean, a one-ball miss and a really rare position error from the 8 to the 9 that Shane made. They were big deciders and the momentum that's built Orcollo to make this decent little comeback.
Yep.
But now, I mean, he still is 10 games down, so it's not a
which, against most people, that might be a little bit manageable. But Shane, you let him get to the table, you never know. He could put 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more on you.
Yeah. And, I mean, Orcollo's the same way, though. So 10 games really doesn't matter a whole lot for either one of these guys when you really think about it.
Yep.
Now, he fell a lot longer on this ball than he wanted to. Now, I mean, cutting this ball in and just trying to take your lumps and get a little longer shot on the 5, that's the best move. I mean, you can kind of let the cue ball get away from you, though, if you try to get too aggressive. And, I mean, it's not the easiest shot in the world. I mean, I do think that Orcollo's the favorite to make it, but just make this ball go 2 rails, and he's upset about it. He wanted to have something real simple, just a stop shot. He can't believe that he landed that far down.
So he's never going to go. I mean, cutting this in, I mean, you're never going to go 3 rails and back out across the 9. You're just going to stay on that side, this side of the 9.
He's going to ease it in, and he's going to try to just make sure that he pockets the ball with straight high English and just stay on that side of the table. Now, he did come 3 rails, but he missed the ball. I liked him to just go ahead and play that ball a little softer,
right,
and just try to pocket the ball, obviously. I don't think that your shot was bad coming 3 rails, but I think that if he would have kept it on that side of the table, kept his head down and just focused on it, he would have made that ball without having to put any extra on it.
All right, guys. Mark Gonzalez with Rackham TV, and they're back here. Shane's going to long rail kick this in. What a shot. What is it going to happen here? Oh, no. Well, you heard the applause. It did get a little funny on this. Got a lot funny on this 5 ball here. right, so we got Jeremy Jones coming back in the booth with us here. Score is 90-80. Shane just made a heck of a kick shot, but he got funny on this 5, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think that's going to leak out a little bit maybe. Yeah, it's going to give up an edge of the 5, I believe. Nothing easy, of course, and Dennis will definitely shoot at this. I think if he makes it, he goes around the 6. If the angle, it's hard to tell exactly with the monitor, of course, but
right.
This isn't the type of shot you would really use a lot of right spin on normally from this distance. You just level out, cut it in with a high ball usually.
You're never in trouble of hitting a 7 here, are you?
No. You're going to go by it. What it looks like to me, though, I don't know. He may catch the 6 2 rails, and then, that could cause some problems. It could turn out good. If he goes by the 6, he could end up a little steep on it by the 9 ball, something like that. 4 rails, the cue ball by the 9. Oh, wow. He hung it. Looked like he hit it, I thought, well. He's left a very awkward rail first that he can creep around the table, kind of like. If he hits it hard, he won't get there. It'll kind of hug. You know how the ball hydraulics when it hits the rail a little bit? He could draw it.
What's up, guys out there in the chat? Luther, tell me, can you tell me what's going on here? Saying the mixer's a little off, Jeremy. I'm going to see if I can adjust it a little bit.
Yeah, they were saying that mic was a little heavy, a little loud, and the other one was a little light, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, he's drawing this ball, so watch out for the corner pockets. Oh, he's going to hit this 6. Wow, I got too much on it. Watch out for the side pocket, excuse me. All right.
He just drew that ball about, 13 and a half feet?
Roughly.
Oh, my God.
Easily, it looked like. So he's got a funny shot here. He can bank the 6 down with a high left spin and try and kill the cue ball and play the 6 like near the 7. Maybe tuck him, somewhat behind the 9. Not tuck him, actually. Just get it, up table behind the 9. He double kissed the ball like this earlier and scratched in a big moment, I thought.
So you're just saying send the 6 ball to the opposite rail, exactly where it's at here, and just leave the cue ball over there in the
right upper part of the table. Okay. I mean, it's touchy because the 6 is so close to the rail. I don't think we'll. Yeah, you see this, so you'd like it off of, an inch or 2 more at least, because you have to hit it. You can't cut it too much, or else you don't bank it properly down table. Shane's pretty creative on this type of stuff if he plays something else.
Is he cutting this?
I don't think so. He's trying to play the Jim Rimpey rail first shot where you kick it out to the side rail and come down table. Now Dennis with another tough cut from some distance, kind of like the 5 ball. A little easier, you'd say, but the 6 is a little further from the pocket, though. No, you overcut it. It's not going to get behind the 7, I don't think, but still going to leave tough. And this is where he'll come a few rails, I believe, anyways. Trying to come 1, 2 in between the 7, 9 and drop the cue ball down. Kind of where, behind the 7, I think. Hit the left side of the 6, running the cue ball a couple rails. A lot of spin. Don't worry about the 6. It should end up around the head string is where the 6 should end up, maybe behind the 9, something like when you hit it well. Oh, you hit it too thick. That's going to hurt unless the 6 really stops here. Yeah. He knew he let it get away.
Yep. So as soon as you said left side of the 6, I saw the shot you were talking about. So
yeah. And he got the cue ball roughly where he wanted, but you can do so also without letting the 6 come down table. He just caught it thick. Okay. Oh, man. So it's these types of things, really, that Dennis cannot afford, even though he's made a hell of a comeback so far. And it's amazing, Mark. Of course, you've been around a few of these matches now. That we don't see many of these types of games anymore. But every now and again, every 10 games or something, you see that ticky-tack battle, safety, kick.
Yep.
Watch out. Wow. Oh. Okay, so I don't think Shane's in the total comfort zone right now.
All right, so Shane goes up 91-80.
All right, breaking the balls in game 172.
Hey, Richie, how you doing? Talking about the raffle. Yeah, as soon as this match is over, we've got all the tickets in a bucket. We're going to do a live drawing as soon as the match is over.
Okay, Shane got a nice one here. A little elevated, but he can get to the right side of the cue ball, which is important. He's going to remove the magic rack, or excuse me, it's not the magic rack, the template from Outsville. And he could, if he had the entire cue ball, he may dig on this ball. I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of just a high English. Smooth this in. If he bumps the 7, that's not a big deal. He shouldn't hit the bad side of the 7, that's for sure. Oh, he overcut it.
Yep. Can he cut this in, or is he going to have to bank it?
I think he can cut it in. Either way, he's shooting, but that was a big miss there. That was overcut that ball. Again, it doesn't seem like Shane's totally comfortable for some reason.
No problem, Richie. Now, come on, Luther. You know we're not going to do that. Luther said we'll announce the winners of the raffle on the next pay-per-view event.
It looks like he might be banking this. The way he's cueing it. Yep, got it down. Now, does he come all the way down here?
Just in between, like the 5 and the 9, or
Yeah, the 7. Watch out! This ball might. All right, he hit a real heavy top English stroke to make sure. He came much longer on that rather than wrapping 2 rails going towards that corner. Didn't expect it to come off that way, though, right?
Yeah, as soon as it was heading towards that rail, you
immediately
thought it was going to come bad, and then when you saw it kick off there with the English, you're like, oh.
A little light there. Not saying it's going to hurt him, but just an inch or two away from a very difficult shot.
So Dennis, me and Billy talk about just the different styles of players, and Dennis is one of those guys who, just really fast player, and when he seems like he's playing well, he's shooting really, really, really fast.
Yeah, he's a little quicker than most.
All right, so Dennis goes up.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, wrong side.
All right, so he gets it back into 10 here.
Yeah, we'll be taking a break at the first player to get 100 games, ladies and gentlemen. So
yes, we will. I think they're taking a 20-minute break, JJ.
I'm not sure. That's about what it was yesterday, 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. So I haven't had a much chance to watch a whole lot of it today, but how are they breaking? Is that one ball still going in the side?
Actually, they're playing it a little higher a lot. Shane's still making the one some, but Dennis is actually, now the one may go here, but Dennis has been not making the one. See how it's coming higher?
Uh-huh.
He's playing it around for a little bit more of shape, and he's getting this kiss a lot. The two's getting near it, so I really like the way this break is turning out for him. And when he does make it, the two's still there too when he does make the one. But he's playing a little heavier hit on the one than he has been. I think he's trying to pretty much copy Shane's a little bit.
Okay.
How Shane changed it in day 2.
Good shot there.
Yeah, great shot. Didn't want to finesse it out, so.
So after he makes this, these next 4 balls here is almost like a drill, isn't it?
Not hard. You got to get from the 7 to the 8. He got a little funny here, just because if he draws by the 7, it'll kill a little more. So he's got to play above the 6 probably. Maybe take a little more cut on the 6. Now he may try to get by it with a little high ball like that. I was going to say, watch out. Now he's stretched, and if he doesn't get through this ball, he could clip the 9. I think he's going to go by it, no problem. Shot.
Yep. Thanks, Justin. We appreciate that, sir. All right. So we're back to 9 games.
Yeah, 9 games.
We got Skeevy on the chat. Skeeve says she doesn't care if it goes hill-hill. She just wants to go hill-hill. She doesn't care who wins. So it's speed that determines where on this right-hand side long rail that the one ball is going to hit? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's speed and both how heavy you hit the one has, the combination of both.
Okay.
You can see that Shane gets a little more power into that cut break than Dennis does, but I don't think it's necessary. I mean, when these guys are making the wing ball, okay, which they're both doing a lot, even though they're using the 9 on the spot, they're using a little heavier hit and a little spin, and they're making that what'll be the 4 ball this time. Well, now that makes a difference in, hey, maybe I don't want to make the 1. Right. Maybe I can get the 1 around table. Watch out, corner pocket. Watch out. Now this is going to leave him a funny kick shot. Oh, no, the 3 got him tied up too. So we get to see an interesting situation here. I don't know what he does here.
I was going to ask you, where do you push to if that's what you decide to do?
Yeah, you're in kind of trouble. The 9-7 isn't so playable, so that's a good thing for both parties, I think. Meaning it gives him a little protection, you might say. What do you do? I don't know. You don't want to do anything nuts and give up ball in hand somehow,
so
right?
See, what I do here, Jeremy, is I jump it, I hit the 1 into the 9, and play the 1 ball down in the bottom left corner, and then just run out.
That's it, huh?
That's it, yeah, right?
There you go. Well, he's definitely rolling out to a jump. So he wants to take his chances on being able to hit the jump accurate and shoot the 1 into the 9-7 and hold the cue ball behind the 3.
Freeze it on the 3.
Yeah, and so that's a big difference from years ago with the jump cues and how accurate the guys are. They're shooting different types of shots, not just making hits with the jump cue and maybe making balls here and there. Now he's going for the jump cue, and I don't think the 1 is really a shootable ball. He kind of looked at that at first. I think he's going to play the same thing. I think he's going to take a chance at hitting this ball well, putting him behind a 3. Thing is, you got to hit it a little bit on the light side because you don't want to jump and land on top of it. The ball's going to draw.
Now, you're using English to have the cue behind the 3, not angle, right?
No, you're just hitting it real full and taking your chances that the one gets away, meaning it doesn't. Oh, wow, what a shot that was.
Wow.
What a shot that was. Oh, he fouled.
Oh.
Well, the 3 did go forward, cross corner, so it makes sense that he hit the 3 first. Hit the 1 first, the 3 would have probably shot towards that opposite side pocket is what I'm guessing. Now, what does Dennis do?
I was just about to ask, how tricky is making the 3, breaking out the 7, and getting shape on the 6?
Well, getting shape isn't easy for like a guarantee, but the good thing is the 6 is fairly open, meaning you're not going to probably get snookered, right?
Right.
So you probably have like a cross-side bank at the very worst. He wanted to draw all the way to the end rail here.
All right, we're back, guys.
Okay, what's he do here? Does he just shoot at and go into the 9 with the cue ball?
Just bank the 6 in the bottom right here.
I mean, it's a very makeable bank, that's for sure. He hit it low. Oh, but it had the good spin on it.
Yep.
All right, now he's got a little flick shot here with a little English. Now, Shane likes to draw for these sometimes, but he'll use spin here. And this is all about just having a nice speed so it straightens out off the second rail. There, like that. Doesn't really spin much more off that second rail. Okay, normally you would go 2 over. Oh. Yeah, he's definitely not hitting the pocket clean.
So you were playing on this table today, Jeremy. Is it
if you want to call it that.
No, of course, man. Everybody on the chat was talking about how excited they were to get to see you play. They love listening to your commentary, but everybody was super stoked to get to see you play.
Well, thanks.